joining us. I'm Maria SERRAO, and you have been personally invited to spend some time with us right here at Terranea. On today's show, you're going to meet one of the members of the back-to-back NBA champion Los Angeles Lakers, and then coming up a little bit later, I'm going to take you to a state-of-the-art fitness studio right here in Paradise. Up first, we go to Marcel Restaurant, where I sat down with Matt Barnes, who talks about his hoop dreams. You grew up in Northern California, in Sacramento area, went to Fair Oaks, actually went to Del Campo High, right?
Yes.
Northern California high school sports, as I know as well from living there for a while, is so intense.
Yeah.
And you lettered in basketball and football may have been an option for you. When did you sort of decide to go the basketball route?
Football was actually my first sport.
Okay.
You know, I grew up playing football. Picked up basketball going into high school, but football was just something I always loved. My dad played semi-pro. I grew up a huge Niner fan.
Okay,
and,
I was going to ask you that.
Oh yeah, just always loved football. Led the nation in touchdowns my senior year, and had
28 touchdowns,
had several offers from colleges. But my dream was to always go to UCLA and play basketball, and they were sketchy on me doing both.
Okay.
You know, so we tried to push for both. They weren't really having it, so I settled for basketball.
Okay, well, so you settled for basketball, but you did fairly well doing that as well. So that was my next question. You grew up a Niner fan living in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
Now, were you a Sacramento Kings fan living up there? Or?
I mean, to be a hometown guy, you know, you always want to see the hometown team do well. But growing up weird, my dad was a huge Laker fan. You know, watching Showtime and Magic and James and, you know, Byron Scott, Kareem, that was who we grew up rooting for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Go back to the competition for a second in high school up there. It's interesting. You go to different places in the state. I know San Diego is very competitive. What is it about Northern California that makes you guys so competitive at the high school level?
There's probably just not much to do out there.
That could be.
You know, it's high school sports is big out there and really competitive. You know, we had really good basketball and football teams when I was in high school, and you know, there's a lot of great local talent around as well. So it just made it a blast to play.
You played at UCLA. You were drafted in the second round, though, to the NBA. What was that moment like for you when you found out I'm there? It's happening.
It was a great feeling, you know, to accomplish my goal was to reach the NBA, but I knew I had some work ahead of me.
Okay.
You know, unfortunately, I was drafted in the second round, traded to Cleveland, and was cut pretty much immediately. Never really had a chance to play. So, you know, I kind of took the tough road to get back to the NBA. It took me about a year to get into the NBA after I was drafted, and you know, I've been going hard ever since. It's
interesting to me because you have been, I'm just going to read this to you, you've been through Memphis, Cleveland, you were at the Clippers, Sacramento Kings, New York Knicks, 76ers, Golden State, Phoenix Suns, Orlando Magic, and you get to the Lakers. What is that like for you as a player where you have to sort of look at this as, it's not just an emotional thing, which of course it is, but this has to be a business for you. How did you navigate through all those teams to get back to where you are right now? What was that like?
That's what I think myself more than anybody in the league may know it's a business. You know, I was drafted by Memphis and traded to Cleveland, so those two spots I never really touched down and played. Started with the Clippers, had a good season there, and went back home in the summertime and was working out with Chris Webber at the arena, and Sacramento wanted to offer me a contract. So I was in the midst of going back to the Clippers and signing a multi-year deal. And, you know, just the allure of playing back at home was, you know, too good to turn down. So I ended up going to Sacramento, played there, played well, and then got traded with Chris Webber to Philly, which was a disaster. I was there for 2 years and never played, never got an opportunity to play. So then the following year I went to Golden State, and in between Philly and Golden State, you know, my brother plays in the CFL, and he was a college football player.
Right.
And every summer I'd worked out playing football, you know, did football routes still, and still had a lot of contact with football. And, you know, I just told myself, you know, I love basketball, but if it doesn't work out this season, you know, I'm going to play football. You know, we had some NFL teams that were willing to give me a tryout. So I went into that summer just, you know, I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can at basketball and see where it takes me. Ended up in Golden State and had a great year there. That's the year we beat the Dallas Mavericks.
Yes.
And, you know, things have been, you know, that was kind of like my coming out party. You know, I've been playing well since I've been having an opportunity, been playing well since. So, you know, it's just a business. Yeah, would I like to stay in one place? Yeah. Would I like to sign a huge deal? Yeah. But, you know, I'm blessed to play the sport I love, and you know, just try to go out there and play as hard as I can every night.
That was only going to be one of my questions. Was there ever one place you really wanted to stay and kind of hoped it worked out? And of course, not the Lakers because you're here now,
Yeah.
but just along the road.
Leading up to this was Golden State.
Okay.
I think we had a great team at Golden State. Very up and coming young team, a lot of talent. For some reason, they blew that team up like they always do. You know, they always have a lot of good talent come through there, and they never keep them.
Kind of like the Clippers.
Yeah. Exactly like the Clippers. So, you know, it was tough because we all became great friends. Myself, Baron Davis, Steven Jackson, Monte Ellis, Al Harrington. You know, we had a very talented team, Jason Richardson, and, you know, we got one good year together when we made NBA history. And then the following year, they just blew the team up. So.
Is it difficult because one team on one hand is saying, we don't want you anymore, but then another team is saying, we do want you? How does that feel as a player?
It's hard. Like I said, it's a business, and I realize that.
Yeah.
The team has to do what's best for them. You know, they have to do what's best for their organization and their best opportunity they feel to win. So you can never really blame a team. Yeah, there's always bitter feelings, and when you play that team, you know, you always want to do well against them.
Sure.
And I've had a knack for doing that against former teams.
You really have.
You know, it's just kind of, you got to go with the punches. Like I said, I'm honored and blessed to be in the position I am. So, you know, I just go out there and play hard.
Okay, so almost a year ago, you were with the Magic, and there was a game that you played against the Lakers and against Kobe Bryant in particular, and it was, we hit it on YouTube, over 200,000 hits. You played that game, probably one of your best games, best performances, and really tough against Kobe. Talk about that game.
I think what it was, you know, now that Kobe and I talk about it now, it was really just two people competing.
Okay.
I think the fact that it was Kobe, you know, I think it kind of got blown out of proportion because from what I've seen, you know, not too many people, you know, stand up to him.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And for him to already be the best player, if you let him get the physical edge and the psychological edge, you don't have a chance. So, you know, I knew I had my hands full that day. And, you know, just right from the tip, you know, when he started throwing elbows, and I was just letting him know I wasn't having it. And we really went back and forth that game.
You know, it was interesting, though, because that was the game that I guess kind of propelled you into his head a little bit. And when your name came up to go to the Lakers, Kobe was like, absolutely, get Matt Barnes in here. And I know that he had tweeted you or texted you
yeah.
something like, if you're crazy enough to stand up to me like that, then you're crazy enough to play with me.
Yeah. When my deal with Orlando fell through, you know, there's a few other teams offering me, now I look at a lot more money.
Toronto being one of them, right?
But, you know, I wanted to win. And one of the first people I texted was Kobe. I'm just like, you know, I want to be on your team. I want to run with you. And he texted me back immediately. And he just said, great, you know, let me talk to Mitch and, you know, let's see what happens. And, you know, within a week I signed there. But, you know, like I said, we talk about it now. And I've known Kobe since I was in college. He used to come to UCLA and work out and play. So, you know, I've always had a huge amount of respect for him. And, you know, now that I'm here playing with him, it's great.